And Jesus was different because he was saying what? You're the truth. He said, you can look low here or low there for it. It is where? Point to it. Within you. He said, what I've done, you can do. What I understand, you can understand. What I know, you can know. And then for 2,000 years, the Western world said, I believe he knew it. But then the New Thought people came along and said, wait a minute, that isn't what he said. Maybe we should practice what he taught instead of practice what he was taught about him. And this is where religious science, unity, divine science came from. This is where Quimby and Emerson and all of these wonderful people who were considered heretics. Why? Because they were threatening the authority of the pulpit, the authority of the church, the authority of rules and regulations. We talked about in class the other night, if you believe God is a big boss sitting up on the sky, then you have to create rules and regulations to practice religion. But here comes religious science that says, you are responsible for creating your own rules and regulations. Ernest Holmes said, what's right for you, do it. What's wrong, don't. You have sense enough to know what that is. You don't need some minister to tell you. Now, we can tell you, and we can explain, and we can teach how to wake up to your greater truth, but we're not going to tell you what to think, are we? We're going to show you how. And if you wake up to how, what you're going to wake up to is the champion within yourself that knows what to do and how to do it. If you let go and know, you know. Over the past decade, we've had a lot of people, especially coming from India and other places, coming in here and telling us they're gurus and mentors and all this other stuff. Reverend Celeste and I found a thing on the internet over in India where you can go to a guru school that teaches you how to come to the United States and convince people you're a spiritual teacher. I said, why don't you just stay here and take our classes? Okay, save your trip. Okay. Now, we find ourselves in situations understanding that what they're doing and what they're doing is good, because anything that teaches you to wake up to your core value, I want to say my core value, the value within me, at the center of me, and the divine urge is it trying to get out to the world, to greet itself in the world we live in. This core value is there waiting, ready, willing, and able, and when we study the science of mind, we recognize that in our study of the science of mind, we learn that the core value of us is our core essence. And that core essence within us, it's called by many names. It's called the Oversoul. Thank you, Emerson. The Overself, the Great Self, the Great Reality, the original nature of us. All of this is true. We could also call it the champion within, couldn't we? The champion within that knows and knows it knows. You see, we know as religious scientists through the speaking of our word, which is the action of our consciousness, that when we speak our word, when Jerry speaks her word as a practitioner, when any of our practitioner ministers speak their word, when you see, our purpose here in our classes is to teach everybody how to be a practitioner in their own life. That's what we're here for. If you choose to do it professionally, then you can keep going and receive your license and be here for people to help them in a beautiful and loving way. If you want to know more about that, see Linda, see Penny, see Jerry, see anybody who's had our classes and knows this. And when they use the word, what they're doing is describing not a way to manipulate the world, but the way to wake the inner self up to the truth of the champion that knows and knows it knows is there's greater good and it's not afraid to accept it. It's not afraid to give it. It's not afraid to be it. Everyone say, I choose to address the essential nature of life. I choose to assert the truth of my being. Direct my inner intelligence. And produce great good in my life. You see, that's your source. That's your gift. Dr. Holmes said once, it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. Why don't we open the gift? Why don't we open the gift? Find out what's there. How many know people have received a wonderful gift, they put it under the tree and they never open it? Oh, it's just so beautiful, I'll leave it to next year. I'll let somebody else open it. The entire process that we're talking about this morning is one of beauty discovering itself, love discovering itself. In religious science, we believe that there is a potential and a possibility for accomplishing something wonderful and truly fresh. See, that's something we leave off sometimes. Everyone say, I accept the wonderful and truly fresh. Truly fresh. Truly fresh. Truly fresh. I was listening to somebody that said somebody gave them a banana and they decided to put it in something to eat later. And about a year later, they opened up the place where they put it. And they found out it was not truly fresh. Yet it was a banana. Everyone's out true. I accept again, truly fresh. Ideas, love, happiness, possibilities, acceptance. You see, the whole work of the science of mind is based on the science of self. We are the science of self. We study the self. We study how to apply the self in a greater and healthier way. And as we learn more about this nature, we learn how to do what? We learn how to live. Not just exist, but live. We learn how to put more good in the hours we have. The love that you give in the hour you live is a measure of the life you lead. How many have heard that before? James Taylor? Is that James Taylor? The love that you give in the hour you live is a measure of the life you lead. Are you finding things to criticize in your world or things to love and appreciate and honor? If you have somebody in your life that you're doing nothing more than criticizing, I got news for you. They got plenty of people doing it. Why not be an exception? Why not find the best in them? Why not find the love in them? Why not honor the answers that you're looking for within them? You see, we're dealing with a fundamental energy, the champion energy that's within it, the God energy. And this potential of God in action in us, as us, this fundamental energy is the realization that we have as religious scientists that it is in everyone as a life force. Everyone. There's no exception. There's one life, it's God. It is the life of everyone everywhere, no matter how they're defining it. The great, the good, and the wise of the age have over and over again said, look unto yourself. You may look low here or low there. It's within you. It's within you. It's within you. And because of low self-esteem, people would not believe it. But they believed that the person saying it believed it, so they chose to worship them instead of learning from them, honoring them, and understanding that whatever they saw them being was a launching pad into what everybody can be. The great truth of self. This energy, this basic to life, is everything you are. It is what the champion in you will embody and be if you let go and let it happen. It is both individual and it is collective. This is what Carl Jung, Dr. Carl Jung, who was a great friend of Ernest Holmes, he loved Ernest Holmes as Ernest loved him. They honored each other because of their conviction, and they celebrated each other primarily because Dr. Ernest Holmes was doing to religion what Carl Jung was doing to psychology. They were both doing the same thing, they were just doing it with a little different vocabulary. This is why Dr. William Hornaday, my first teacher, before Ernest Holmes would let him become a minister, he sent him to Zurich, Switzerland to study personally with Carl Jung before he would let him become a religious science minister. Why? Because he realized that it is our challenge to get above, as Jung would say, race consciousness to the individual magnificence that we are. Instead of being followers, we find out that we can become self-leaders. Instead of giving in to the conviction of the world, we get higher than that. And that's how all advancement has happened. We bypass confusion, doubt, and fear, and we know that awake are asleep. And this thing called life, every human being is influenced. They're influenced by the thought patterns they have. They're influenced by what? By the consciousness around them. They're influenced by whatever they are conforming to. And the great advice given 2,000 years ago, if this is not the advice of a champion, I can't hear anymore, when it said, be not conformed to the world, be transformed. How? Say it with me. The renewing of your mind. The mind of the infinite is everything you are. The mind of the infinite thought you up, and it has never created within itself another you. That's how important you are. That's how wonderful you are. That's how magnificent you are. Doesn't matter. We are involved as we move through our life. We are involved with a mix of consciousness. Good, bad, indifferent. Everything's out there. And we can do what? We can get higher than it, or we can conform to it. We can get higher to it or be like it. We can imitate it, or we can do what? Find the original and be it. The original. Everyone say, I'm an original. I'm an original. Every morning when you get up, here's a gift you can give yourself. Try it every day. Every day from now to the new year, get up, look yourself in the mirror and say, what a thing you are. What a wonderful thing you are. What a magnificent thing you are. Okay? And then walk out the door knowing that. Whatever responsibility is in front, let it know it. Let it deal with it. This is the invisible self. This is mind. This is the conscious energy that expresses how? It expresses through our attitude. It expresses through our consciousness. It expresses through everything that we feel about ourselves. Every mood, every physical activity we have. It is this power, this energy, this intelligence doing it. What are we going to do? Limit it when it's unlimited? We're going to find something petty to ruin our day, or we're going to find something magnificent to be the consciousness in our day. Religious science is a philosophy, it's a methodology, and it means attaining authority of your own life. That's what this teaching is all about. I embody the authority of my own life. I stop giving authority to things I don't want in my life. Doubt, fear, unhappiness. Why give power to that? But I got news for you with the song we sang. What, in the silence that God speaks to me. What does it say? Yes. To what? Consciousness. Who's in charge of consciousness? I don't know. Who's in charge of consciousness? You are. Who thinks the way you think? I do. Okay. Who's ready to take responsibility for it? Okay. Now, if you wake up, you must understand that the spiritual work that you are involved in is allowing yourself. This is good. Everyone say, the denial of denials. I stopped denying my denial. Okay, so you stop it. Stop denying and start affirming. Everyone knows where you are and what you're doing. Everyone knows that what you're doing is an influx of something, so why not let it be beautiful? It's an influx of greater ideas. It's an influx of what? The consciousness of this time of the year. I love, I give, and I let my gift move forward. Dr. Ernest Holmes said, remember, behind the gift is the giver. Behind the giver is God. And guess what? It's all one thing. And it's all you. Open that gift. Discover the champion. Let it be your way. Namaste.